Is there like a master accountant who's running the back office of all this, who's running the money flows, who's managing the lawyers?
Well, she was actually quite famous for trying to manage everything herself.
Oh, right.
Because she
okay.
was very, very clever. I mean, she did work in finance for years, and she got a PhD in law, and she's really, really smart person. But her American lawyer investment manager, Mark Scott, who was convicted for this, he was the one running those British Virgin Island investment funds. But then she would have had someone else doing another thing over here. She had some lawyers dealing with her property. She had someone dealing with her online casino. She had someone dealing with her Sophia House as a different lawyer. She must have employed at least 10 lawyers in different countries, who some of them were dealing with this, some of them were dealing with that. So she had to kind of have a view on everything, but she had lots of people working for her managing the day-to-day stuff. And why are you interested in what you're going to do with all your money then?
No, but I have a very simple life. My finances are quite simple. I still have an accountant and a lawyer to help me out with it.
Yeah.
But it's super simple. And I'm just thinking it's like,
the stress of it. The difficulty,
stress of it.
Yeah.
Well, so no, because I'm trying to think, like, if you want to get away with it, one of the things me and Danny were talking about on the way down is like, if you're her, is this exciting and fun, or is it just constant stress? Like, is there an excitement of being on the FBI's most wanted list, getting away with it, and are you just living this high life of parties and a yacht and people protecting you and you got your two fingers up, or is it constant stress?
I think constant stress.
But
so I think at the beginning, all the early parties, and she had loads of parties. Tom Jones sang at her birthday party in London, and then she had Bebe Rexha singing at her birthday party in Bulgaria in 2017. You know, all these amazing cars, and she had a big yacht, and, you know, she really was living the high life. But she then had a daughter in October 2016, and she disappeared 1 year after. And I think the moment she had a daughter, it changed. But it was stress.
And
it was
is her daughter with her?
I can't go into all that stuff, partly because I'm not sure. I don't think the daughter's with her.
Right.
But I really avoid too much talking about the daughter, because the daughter's just an innocent party. Yeah. I mean, it's public record she had a daughter, so I'm not saying anything super private. She talked about it a lot. But my suspicion is, and from talking to people, that might have changed it from being cool and fun and exciting to just being unbearably stressful. But it was like too late by then.
Could she also have exited in that she's got almost like a private version of witness protection? She's gone and bought an ID, a location, and she's just disappeared. And
she's definitely done that. I mean, she's definitely got ID. She's definitely got all of that stuff.
But what I mean is that there's a version where she's still in the kind of like shadows of maybe Bulgaria and hiding out there. Maybe she gets a private jet to Dubai occasionally, and she's got they say, or she's completely disappeared and gone to some people and say, here, I got 500 million. I want to escape with 10, 15 million. I want an ID. I want to be in a country no one's going to look for me, like I don't know, south of Chile or up in
Brazil has been mentioned often.
And I just want out, and I want to be left and take all the money. Like, that is an option, because if it is all that stress, because like I asked about that kind of master accountant, right? And the master accountant is somebody, one, who can steal your money, two, who can roll on you.
Yeah.
So do you have to have multiple, you've got to have multiple, heads of this snake because one gets cut off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you do this.
Yeah.
And I wonder if she's just gone, I'm out, I'm done.
She's very close to her family, though.
Okay.
So it's one thing about just disappearing and saying, all I want is a new ID, and I don't want to be involved with organised crime and this protection or that protection. I just want to live in a normal place, somewhere far away from everyone, with my new ID, and I'm gone. And she could have afforded that 100 times over. And that is possible. And maybe she did do that. I, however, have had a lot of sightings of her in and around the Mediterranean right up until just a year ago.
The life she likes.
The life she likes. And I spoke to a private investigator. I've spoken to a lot of private investigators, and they said people always revert to type.
Right.
They end up back where they started. They end up like the lifestyle, the food, the glamour, the family, the people. People can't just disappear. Or it takes a very unusual person to be able to do that. And that's not normally what happens. they normally stay close to the first place they went, which in this case is Greece. So this is our sort of working theory, but it is possible. It is possible, and there are people that can make you do that. I've read a few books about how to disappear, because obviously looking into this, there's loads of books out there about how to do it.
Well, we did that, didn't we? So do you know the Quadriga story?
Yes.
Yeah, so we were looking into that, and we were looking to make a similar story to yours about that. What was his name?
Gerald Cotton.
Yeah, and part of the way we were going to make it, I don't mind because we're never going to do it now. It's too, but we were going to try as part of the podcast to disappear. To actually disappear. You know, the only people I was going to let was my family and friends know, and then I was going to try and disappear. You know, it's a lot of work, a lot of planning.
It's a lot of work.
We looked at the books. I mean, I gave myself a year of prep before I could actually do it.
Yeah.
You know, siphoning bits of money away. And yeah, it's a
hard
lot.
work.
Yeah.
And one mistake, you like lose discipline. I mean, that's the thing that all these books on disappearing say. You've got to have this iron discipline. You make one faux call, you make one little mistake, you appear somewhere in public for too long, you're desperate to contact someone, so you just can't help logging into Facebook to just, that could be it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said to me, but it's impossible. She couldn't have done it. She'd be spotted, all the cameras everywhere. But why do we have an FBI's 10 most wanted list and a Europol's most wanted list? Go and have a look at them. Loads of people that have been on the run for absolutely ages. There was this British guy that stabbed someone in a bar in London, got himself a fake ID, travelled around Europe for about 2 years. All he did was got some tattoos and grew his hair long. No one recognised him. And then in the end, he handed himself in because it's so stressful, just constantly on the run. It's not fun, no matter how much money you've got, the stress of it. So if she is out there, she's living in a golden cage because it would not be fun. Especially not now she's on the FBI's 10 most wanted list.
The thing that I thought when we were listening is Dubai seems like a place where maybe she could be working with either royal family or the state, or in some way maybe they're hiding it. Because do you want to explain what they did with the money? Because that's super interesting.
Do you mean the Bitcoin deal?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is very, very complicated whether this even happened at all. And I'm increasingly wondering whether the whole thing is itself an elaborate scam within a scam. But it seems that at some point, again, long before she disappeared, Dr. Ruja had 50 million euros or so frozen in Dubai bank accounts. 50 million euros. And it seems that she struck a deal with a sheikh there, although I should say he denies all of this and claims he was the one that was wronged, but struck some kind of deal where she essentially handed the power of attorney over to him to have control over the OneCoin companies, including the bank accounts with the frozen money, the 50 million that's frozen. And in exchange, he handed her 4 memory sticks with 230,000 Bitcoin on them, which at the time was 50 million euros, because this is in 2015. The thinking being, Ruja gets the Bitcoin, and me, the sheikh, with my, the strings I can pull and my contacts, I can unfreeze your bank accounts and keep that money for myself. That all ended up going disastrously wrong. He wasn't able to unfreeze the accounts. He did send a letter or two off to the chief prosecutor in Dubai, but the bank accounts weren't unfrozen. Then there was this big legal dispute between Ruja and him about who really owned it and had he overstepped his power of attorney, and got very, very complicated. The latest ruling on this, which was just a few weeks ago, I think he now is probably in possession of that 50 million euros of frozen money. I think he has won. All these appeals were going on in the Dubai commercial courts about it, and he has won and now does own that 50 million euros. The question is, did he ever really give her 230,000 Bitcoin on 4 memory sticks? So
any blockchain scanning to see the big transactions?
Tried it, but it was all on cold, supposedly cold wallets. It's just a memory stick with access to God knows how many cold wallets. It wasn't ever said. I don't know if any of them moved. I had no addresses for any of those wallets, but this was presented in a Dubai commercial court. Like documents where the sheikh signed it. Like, I handed Ruja these Bitcoin in exchange.
Trust me, Gov.
Well, it could be that he just made that up to explain why he should have the 50 million that was frozen. And again, I'm like, how am I supposed to figure this out? So she was sort of connected in Dubai. She did have a mansion there that we think we found.
Yep.
Using some open source intelligence.
That was an amazing
work.
part of the story.
So, using just one photograph on Instagram that her brother took, we managed to geolocate the exact place of this mansion that we think she may have owned, but she probably isn't there anymore. We sent some Krispy Kremes around there on like Deliveroo type thing to see if anyone was in, but no one was. So she had good connections in Dubai, and this Bitcoin thing was really annoying me. Like I couldn't get to the bottom of it. We've got court documents that say this sheikh gave Ruja 4 memory sticks with 230,000 Bitcoin. And it's like, maybe that we can trace that. We can use blockchain analysis.
Yeah, I mean, if I was the court, I'd say, show me the evidence that you purchased and they transferred.
And well, what they used was certificates. Like, look, here's like an affidavit kind of thing. Certificate of purchase. Yeah, I know, but this is old fact. This is the old.
But that's like OneCoin. There's no actual crypto.
But this is the old-fashioned way of doing things, isn't it? I've got a document with a lawyer and I've signed it, and there it is, and that's proof. Your world of proof is show me the keys, show me the money moving.
Yeah.
But that isn't how courts really work still. So to the court, I guess that was enough evidence. That was what they needed. And it comes down to these interesting questions about trust. Like, why do you trust a blockchain analysis, or do you trust a lawyer's letter, that's waved in the air at you? I don't know if she even had it. I don't know if it was a scam within a scam so the sheikh could get the 50 million. So she was connected in Dubai, but because they fell out so badly, I wonder whether she had to disappear again from Dubai, because I think she was in Dubai after she vanished.
Right.
I think one of the first places she went was Dubai. But I think she may have then had to have moved on again.
Getting from Greece to Dubai without a passport, how difficult is that?
No, she had passports. She had loads of passports.
But they would have. So it would have been a fake passport.
I think she had fake passports. Yeah.
And has no one looked at the cameras at the airports? Or,
yeah, the FBI probably has.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell me, are they? Even care. Private. I mean, she travelled in private jets a lot of the time. So this is why it's really difficult. And the last known sighting was basically Athens airport when she landed there on her Ryanair flight. And I asked the FBI about this. Was she definitely on that flight? Or because it could have been misdirection. Because didn't Jan Marsalek from Wirecard, he pretended to be on one flight and then went off on another flight. And they basically said, no, we can't tell you, but we're pretty sure she was on that flight. Let's just say that. So we know she was there, but from that point, it goes a little bit cold. Now, I'm sure the FBI obviously has information that I don't have about what happened then. And if you look at the country, if you look at the languages that they've translated this FBI notice into and the countries they've mentioned, Albania, Greece, Dubai, Eastern Europe, Balkans, Germany, they're all places that were kind of on our radar as well.
Do you have a board at home with pictures and bits of string that you stand and look at and go crazy with?
No, people just do that in the movies.
You did want to do that?
I did want to do that, but I made it as a podcast, didn't I? So what was the point?
The thing that was a massive red flag for me was that the last text message that I think she's known to have sent, I can't remember, who was that to?
To Frank Schneider.
And they used to speak in German, and then the last text message was home safe in English.
Yeah.
That seems like a huge red flag.
Well, when you ever hear about a kidnap or a murder, and the person who's done it keeps texting from their phone for a while, that just sounds like one of those.
Yeah, the thing is, what's always difficult about this is, do I trust Frank Schneider? Was that true? The funny thing about this story is you never really know who you trust either. It always comes back down, the whole thing about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, to bring it back to it's trust. Why do you trust the things you trust? Like, why do you trust money? Why do I trust Frank Schneider? Why do I trust the legal document in the court? Why did OneCoin investors trust Ruja? Like, Ruja had letters from lawyers. Frank Schneider trusted that. Why did he trust that more than the blockchain? I mean, and it's like everything is about trust in this story and why you trust certain things. And it does you head in a bit. Like, do I trust Frank Schneider? Is he lying to me about that text message for some reason? I don't know. I can't see the text message. Never showed it to me.